My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, so I just finished edit whatever I recorded earlier in the morning, and I wanted to go over some tweets that I came across that has to do with Harry's security. Alright, so I just want to do this for some reason. Okay, there's part 1 I'm uploading right now. Okay, it's fine, but I'll finish it later. I just want to go over my account. Okay, I just took a screenshot of this to put at the end of part 2 of this morning video. Okay, so now that I have a video of it instead of just a screenshot, $271.86, and number of subscribers since this morning, 3,603 subscribers. All right, with that being said, let's go on Twitter. This is the thing that I want to go over. It's 2:42 p.m. My kids should be coming. My youngest should be coming soon. Okay. Prince Harry's lawyer tells the judge that revoking Harry's security was the first time RAVEC had ever deviated from its own policy. If you go on Priti, I have some videos regarding Harry's security. Probably what year? Definitely not this year. Maybe last year. Early last year, when the security issue was being talked about, there's a lot of videos that I have, and I was asking myself question, what's RAVEC and all of that, and through that I come across about the 5 eyes and all of that. Go on PYTE. I have all of these videos regarding Harry's security. Okay, let's continue. Harry didn't know the royal household, King Charles' aide, Sir Clive Alderton, had gotten involved. Alright, so let's read this. This is what really got me. I took the screenshot, put it for you guys already, but I haven't read it. Harry claimed to have been subjected to unfair treatment and that a far inferior procedure had been imposed by RAVEC, which lacked the critical safeguards in their written policy. Quote, no good reason has been provided for singling the claimant out in this way, his barrister told the judge, adding that the Duke had only discovered that the policy will not apply to him because he brought legal proceedings forcing the government to disclose this fact. Wow. She claimed that he had been giving no explanation for such treatment, and as far as they were aware, it was the first time RAVEC had deviated from its own policy in this way. The Duke was cleared to bring the challenge in July 2022, and the claim will be heard over 2.5 days starting from Tuesday. However, the majority of the hearing will be heard behind closed doors after a privacy order was issued over concern that a vast amount of the evidential material cannot enter the public domain. You know what came to mind as I'm editing this video from reading this is that in Spare, when Harry was complaining to, I guess, to the palace that people were leaking stuff about him, and then when he realized that they were not going to help him, and then they asked him, the palace asked Harry to give the information that he has about the person that who's leaking information about him, and then Harry did not give them those information. So I'm assuming, in my humble opinion, some of these information that he has, that he mentioned in Spare, probably are these information that he's probably gonna show in court, because when they asked him for those information, he did not give it to them because he felt like if he gave it to them, it will not benefit him. Instead, it will benefit the courtier or the person who's working in the palace who's leaking information about him. That's what I think. Okay, and that's probably part of those 400 pages he removed from the book, in my humble opinion. All right, so let's get back to the original recording. But this should be made public. Okay, and making the bid for the challenge, lawyers for Harry said the security arrangements set out in a letter from RAVEC and their application when he visited the UK in June 2021 were invalid due to procedural unfairness because he was not given opportunity to make representation. Sharid Fatima Casey for the Duke told the High Court in London last year, quote, he didn't know at that stage that the royal household was involved at all. He was told it was an independent decision. Yep, they separated altogether. Yep, I remember that. God, these people are vile. Okay, so that was that. I look to see if I could find more of what's going on in court. I only saw 3. So this is the video from this morning, and this is what I plan on sharing with you right now. I don't think I'm gonna hit the byline part, but these I want to tackle it, the protection part, at least 4 tweets. All right, so not much is made on Twitter or put on Twitter, or should I say made public. Okay, and therein lies the discriminatory treatment, deviating from their own security policy and treating him unlike they would any other royal of his stature, a freaking son of a king and a grandson of a queen. Yep, that's it. That's exactly that. And I was reading some of the comments. I don't know if it was this tweet or some of the tweet that I plan to share with you, is that they're saying, oh, the police is not for sale. We understand it's not for sale, but at the same time, the same thing that he's asking for, other celebrities have gotten it, and then he said he was gonna pay for them himself, and they refused to give him that as much. Okay, the firm act like a criminal organization. I like the fact that these old vicious men working for Charles are being exposed, and I think Harry, you know, purposely wants to do that, wants to expose them because they are so unfair. But everything that he tried to do with them, they make it public. So Harry's taking them to court. Okay, wasn't the Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young, who had been at Sandringham Summit, also on the RAVEC committee? I think so too. And then that guy, Edward Young, it's Charles who replaced him. Him and what's the other guy? Charles and Andrew. Andrew replaced them. All right, let's see here. 2 comments under that. Okay, the committee was apparently 50% courtiers, so essentially the palace being vindictive. Yep. Okay, I don't know what this link is all about. Let me leave that alone. Okay, I just came from this to here. Essentially and critically, the royal institution lied to Harry that it was a government decision to remove his security, whereas they were influenced by Clive so and so. What manner of evil men live on that island? Okay, they wanted to kill him without getting their hands dirty. That's exactly that. Yes, that's exactly that. And I told you guys that Edward Young, Charles, from articles that I read, okay, from articles that I've read, 2 different articles, okay, Charles and Andrew put their heads together to remove the good secretary of the Queen. I don't know how long he was there, but because he was protecting the crown, he was doing his job. And I think Andrew wanted stuff, I don't know, and then the Virginia Godfrey thing was, you know, starting to make noise, and that secretary of the Queen wanted to protect the crown, and there were certain things Andrew wanted, and he told him no because it will not be good for the crown. So, and Charles wanted certain things, he wasn't gonna get it, so him and Andrew put their heads together to remove that what do you call this, that secretary of the Queen, and put Edward Young. Okay, and then from that point on, in my humble opinion, Edward Young, who was supposed to be the eyes and ears for the Queen, instead he was eyes and ears for Charles on the Queen's kind of work kind of thing. And then whatever that was supposed to be transferred to the Queen, they didn't let he did not transfer that information to the Queen. Okay, so Charles was running the show in a way, in my humble opinion. Okay. Harry, former captain and Apache aircraft commander, son of the current monarch, fifth in line, has to sue the UK government in order to be able to pay for his, that's the thing here, to pay for his own protection. While it's been proving that people have been convicted of threatening to kill him, his wife and their kids. I'm telling you. I am telling you. This is crazy. And it's true though. Yep, there's the proof here. Okay? I have some of those screenshots of that as well. Archie was 1 month old, and when these two were convicted of threatening Prince Harry, could you imagine Meghan postpartum worry about this? Okay, there's that. Okay, 1 year ago, a podcast said Prince Archie should be put down a 3-year-old when she's coming with receipt. Where was the royal family to denounce this? Instead, they've only allowed and, in my opinion, asked for the threat and vile abuse to increase for Archie's mother and father. It's beyond despicable. Make it make sense. The monarchy is an abysmal anarchist cult. Yeah. My goodness. This is crazy. Which one did I just went? There's some good comments here. Okay, I just went in hers. King Charles the Cruel removing his son's security and leaked their location was beyond cool. They want to unalive him and his family. What a wicked father. And the thing that father, that's father. The thing that happened in New York, the chase. I don't know. It put a huge question mark. Who was really behind it?
To TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So Meghan and Harry had quite the night. It started out very glamorous with a lot of acclaim. Meghan got an award and it was a very glitzy event. We'll get into that in a minute. But the headline turns out not to be what happened at the event. It's what happened after.
Right. As their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them. And it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour. And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR Drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
And they were right on their tail.
Yeah, and they had, this was not just Harry and Meghan in their single SUV. They actually had an entourage that, it's clear that they anticipated some of this.
Clearly, they were in an SUV. There were 2 security SUVs that were tailing them, and then there was a 4th SUV that eventually was used to try and block traffic to thwart the paparazzi that were following them.
Right.
Now, they say that pedestrians were almost hit, cars were almost hit, a couple of police officers almost
were involved,
hit.
right?
So I know this sounds crazy, but we have confirmed, like Charles said, that this really did last 2 hours. So there were times when they went to various police stations trying to get some help, or
trying to get help, or trying to shake the paparazzi. So the video we're about to show you, this is them almost an hour and a half after leaving the theater. They've been in this chase. They've been on the FDR going 80 miles per hour. And now they've gone back to a police precinct and they get into a yellow cab. They get out of their SUV. They get into a yellow cab.
And it's to shake the paparazzi. They're figuring nobody would think they'd get in the yellow cab. So they get in at the police station and drive away. And they're thinking, we're going to shake the paparazzi.
But
that did not happen.
clearly, you can see the paparazzi knew they were there. That's their security guard, who gets out of the front seat and is trying to get the photographers to back up.
You can see the thinking behind getting in a yellow cab. It might blend in more.
And then the UK was the first one, tabloid, to put pictures. Okay? And then go around that time when this happened, there were some tweets that I was reading, and I think they claimed they were putting like a price tag on if they get certain type of pictures. If this, happened, they will get this amount. Yeah, there was like some sort of how do they call this? Was given. All right, let's continue. Harry's entire family has profoundly betrayed him. He and Meghan have displayed more grace and class to them than they deserve. I pray he heals from this and come on meets King Charles III, Bill, Kathy, and Camilla every day. They are evil. What needs to happen? It's the same thing that they want Harry to be in with no protection, where they themselves, they don't even want Harry to pay for it. Okay, so give them that same treatment. If they feel like Harry should receive that treatment, they should receive it. Okay, you see, William can even stand a person who's, I don't know, riding. Well, he was riding his bike. He was going crazy because the guy was walking. I don't know if he was behind him, next to him, or whatever.
You can have this altercation.
I know. I just realised who it was, and I've just.
You didn't. You're out here looking for us. Don't.
I was
pretend.
actually.
No, you drove past us outside our house. I saw you.
No, I didn't. I haven't been near the house. I've not been. I promise you, I've not been near your house. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, you are. How dare you behave like you've done my children? How dare you?
I have not
You're
done anything.
stalking around here looking for us and our children. I went for a
I'm
quiet
gonna
bike ride with my children on
That's fine.
Saturday,
That's fine.
and you won't even give me your name. You're outrageous. You're disgusting. You really are. You can have this altercation.
Okay, that same treatment that they want for Harry, I want them to have it, because if they feel like Harry should get it, so it must be good for them as well. Okay, or should I say baggage for God? Okay, that's my human nature was talking here. Okay, so now let's say baggage for God. And the ancestors and comma do what must be done. It is a cabal at this point. British cartel. Okay, Harry knew very well who was making the decision. I think so. Yeah, he just playing dumb and take it all the way to the court. And thank God he has the money to do that. Okay, this shows the power of Rupert Murdoch. He controlled both the government and the royal family. Just wow. If there were any doubt of who runs this country, it's the media. Okay, this this is what people don't get about this lawsuit. The mafia family got their hands in where it then belonged and influence in their favor. Yep, he was born in there. He know what's up. This family is cool, not just to outsiders. They're extremely cool and vengeful to each other. Okay, what an evil father and brother. My goodness, this is so awful. I'm on the Man and Grave chapter and what they did to Harry. Harry and Meghan only told half of what they went through with that evil, cool cabal. Thank the Almighty, they loved away. And the other thing, our prayers. Oh my God, some of the things that I was praying for without even knowing. And then later, I came to find out, what was it? There was an event. Meghan did not go with Harry. Was it the reveal? I think it was the reveal. The statue, I think it was around that time. It probably on PYTE. Around that time, Harry went to an event. The police took him to that event. After the event, they left. They did not escort him back. And then there was a chase that happened. The police escort Harry to the event, and then once they drop him, they left. Meanwhile, Harry was at the event. After the event, the police were not there to escort him back to the palace. And then there was a chase. There was a chase that happened, and one of the things that I said around that time, and when he went, it could have been the unveil or Prince Philip's funeral. I don't remember, because around that time I was praying like crazy for him on the videos. You could hear my crazy talks in there. I was praying for him, and then when I found out there was a chase afterward, I was like, what the hell? And I said, God, thank you for it. Why? Because he was by himself. Because if he was with his family, let's say Meghan and Archie at that time, I don't know if Lily was born at that time, maybe, if he was with his family, it would be devastated for him, because he will have to think of others. But during that chase, it was only him. He only had to think of himself. This is the thing that I took away from it, and I said, thank God for it, and that is a lesson for him. And then this is why he's fighting so hard for his security. Okay? All right, let's read some more, and then, okay, perfect, let's finish. These people, government and palaces, are so corrupt. How can Harry even think of maintaining a relationship with the father and brother is beyond me. They have betrayed him in so many ways. Okay, his own family. Not only a safety issue, also very hurtful. Okay, one word, corruption. Perhaps Harry knew and wanted it exposed. I think so too. Yeah, he knew. And also, I will not put this past me as well. Okay, because Harry is someone, when someone tell him a secret, he keeps it a secret. There might be some people who see, oh, did I put that again? 45. 39. Okay, there might be some people who's in there, but they're too afraid and they don't want to lose their job. I'm just saying, I do not know. As all of my other videos, everything is my humble opinion. Who might saw the corruption going on and give him a heads up too. Okay, there's a possibility of that as well. But then again, he grew up in there. He knows how they work. He just don't want to be part of this mess. But he just ignored, because from my understanding, I could be wrong as well, it seems like when he's not doing, and he's not representing the institution, or they don't need him, he doesn't stay over there. He's in Africa. That's my understanding. It seems like he's a person who was hanging out in Africa. He preferred being over there. He stayed away from the mess that's over there. Okay, so this is the next tweet. Okay, Lord Chamberlain William Peel told Prince Harry that if he didn't withdraw his case against the son in 24 hours, quote, he will face severe consequences. And I think I read this on my last video that I just edited. Okay, RAVEC then goes against its own policy for the first time ever to remove Harry's security. Okay, so this is his picture. Okay, quote, Harry was ready to pursue action against the son in early 2020. The Duke of Sussex wasn't relying on his brother's cooperation anymore because by this point, he had all the evidence he needed, relevant documents, intel from Scotland Yard, and information from other journalists, including sources at the paper itself, who had passed details along to his team. Armed with a dossier, Harry went to the very top of the institution with a formal complaint and a suggestion that they take appropriate action against the son. The response Harry received, however, was far from what he expected. Yeah, I think I read this on my earlier this morning video, but for the sake of this video, let's continue. The Lord Chamberlain overstepped. There on Buckingham Palace headed paper was a reply from the Lord Chamberlain at the time, Earl William Peel, who had a particularly close relationship with Charles. The letter, a source said, included, quote, some of the most strong, end quote, language seen on official household stationery aimed at Harry, not John's. Quote, it was a threat, end quote, said a source close to the situation, who added that the Queen wasn't consulted before the palace issued it. Okay, this is the thing where they keep the Queen in the blank. They don't tell her everything. It continues, the Lord Chamberlain said either drop the charges or face severe consequences in 24 hours. This is the thing I've said as well. The minute they start hiring politicians into the institution, I knew it was over. I knew it was over because they know how the inside work. And then they know how to scare the royal family due to they could pass certain laws to remove them from that position, or who knows what other crap they be doing that they know their secret. Okay, I knew the minute they start hiring politicians, it was over. Once they know how you operate, what you do inside, and all of this, they know. Okay, and Harry was the one who was looking, for them, but they don't see it. The father and the brother. Okay, let's continue. A message from a lawyer for Jones arranged by the palace soon followed. The decree stand down from legal action against Prince William's aide. Wow. Prince William's aide. Can you imagine that? They doing all this to the king's son, but they're protecting the aide. Let's continue. The Palace and ass covering mode. Exasperate Harry pointed out to Palace aides that he was not suing the aide or anyone in this matter. He simply had a desire for the situation. A public official with deep connection to private information about a senior royal being shared with a national newspaper to be properly dealt with. This is the part Harry was looking out for the institution. For the Duke, enough was enough. The son had a long and controversial history of an appropriate relationship with public officials, and the palace at one point was also keen to put an end to these practices. Quote, the palace basically accused Harry of wanting to sue his brother's private secretary and causing great distress to Christian. My God. The source continue. When they asked him to provide more evidence, Harry refused. At this point, he already had plenty, and giving how defensive they were being of Christian, it was clearly going to be used to help him and not Harry. Harry is a very smart man. Let's continue. Harry claimed to have been... Okay, so this part, I believe it's one of the royal rats who wrote it, where they're talking sources or something like that. Okay, Harry claimed to have been subject to unfair treatment and that a far inferior procedure had been imposed by RAVEC, which lacked the critical safeguard in their written policy. Quote, no good reason has been provided for singling the claimant out in this way. His barrister told the judge, adding that the Duke had only discovered that the policy would not only apply to him because he brought legal proceedings forcing the government to disclose this fact. Wow. Okay, so that's not what I thought it was. Okay, she claimed that he had been giving no explanation for such treatment, and as far as they were aware, it was the first time RAVEC had deviated from its own policy in this way. My God. The Duke was cleared to bring the challenge in July 2022, and the claim will be heard over 2.5 days starting from Tuesday. However, the majority of the hearing will be heard behind closed doors. Okay, these are some of the part that I read from the other tweet. After a privacy order was issued over concern that a vast amount of evidential materials cannot enter the public domain, and making the bid for the challenge, lawyers for Harry said the security arrangement set out in a letter from RAVEC and their application when he visited the UK in June 2021, maybe that was that, were invalid to procedural unfairness because he was not giving an opportunity to make representation. Okay. Shobik Fatima KC, yeah, that's the same thing that I just read. KC for the Duke told the High Court in London last year, quote, he didn't know at that stage that the royal household was involved at all. He was told it was an independent decision. Okay, so that's that. Oh, there's more. While the royal family does everything to protect UK tabloid, today the Sun had to settle claims with celebrities due to their use of illegal information gathering method. And I think is that the one that I just did? No, Byline has. Okay, it's 3 or 4, so let me try to do as much as I can. Only Prince Harry stood up to the tabloid, and his case is in January 2025. All right, so let's see here. I'll put the link since I'm here. I'll put the no, what is that? That's from the Press Gazette. Okay, so who are all these people? Okay, oh no. Alright, let's see something. Let me set something. Okay, I don't think I did it right, but whatever. I didn't want it to be shown. Okay, let's read this really quickly. Sun publisher pays out to celebs over claim of hacking, blagging, and deception. The news group newspaper apologized to the claimant, who include Mel C and Catherine Tate. Really? Okay, let's see here. A group of celebrities have received substantial damages and public apologies from news group newspapers, NGN, publisher of The Sun, and previously News of the World, over unlawful information gathering practices. Among the claimant are Spice Girl Melanie C, comedian Catherine Tate and Kate Allen, and radio presenter Chris Morles. Okay, Morles? Okay, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Meanwhile, what is it? Everybody's getting huge sum of money, and William, not so much. I don't know. I forgot the amount that he got. So, for not suing. But anyway, let's continue. NGN apologizes were conveyed to Mr. Justice Fincourt and High Court on Tuesday morning. And you know what all of this is doing for Harry's case? could be probably strengthening his case as well. Because if aren't these people the same group that Harry's suing? The son, there it is here. Okay. What were the claimants saying news group newspapers had done? The claimants all alleged that NGN had intruded on their privacy. Christopher Hutchin, media dispute partner at law firm Hemlands, which represent the group, said, quote, the impact of the publication of intrusive private information can be long-lasting. We are pleased NGN had been held to account for its unlawful action. The court was told that each claimant had received substantial damages from the publisher. Okay, Melcy, full name Melanie Krishlong, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, said in her claim that NGN published a significant numbers of articles between 1996 and 2009. Now, when we look at the time, remember how they were saying to Harry's case in terms the time frame for things, for him to bring things to trial. What's the term for it? I'm trying to hurry. I can't think of the word. Where it was somewhat too late for him to sue them, and his father was preventing him from suing. So this one is from 1996 to 2009. Almost what? My goodness. Which included details about her professional and romantic relationship, her mental health, her pregnancy, and her sexuality. Oh, Jesus Christ. Allen similarly said he had been caused considerable distress by the publication of private information he believed must have been obtained through voicemail interception. Okay, so it's not that much. You could read this. This is gonna be on the description. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up, but I want to focus on the Harry thing. We pray that he wins this case. They are dishonest. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. This is crazy. I mean, was it all worth it if they're paying all this out? Okay, next tweet. As Prince Harry's trial on his security begins, a reminder that in August 2023 this year, Priti Patel and King Charles' private secretary Clive Alderton were discussing a review to get taxpayers to restart paying Prince Andrew's security. Harry was asking to pay for it himself. Priorities over there. My goodness. Jesus Christ. Everything is like backward. All right, so let's read this. Miss Patel's intervention came after she discussed Andrew's security rules with his PR guru, pal Mark Gallagher. Dame Priti Patel is said to have contacted Sir Clive Alderton, Charles' principal private secretary, and suggested that a review of the Duke of York protection could be something to consider. After her email was leaked to The Sun, Patel apologized for her intervention. Oh my God! Now I remember after the thing was hacked. Dame Priti Patel was thrown under the bus for suggesting that decision about the royal family's security should receive proper scrutiny. It has been claimed. The source said, quote, it is outrageous that an email sent in confidence about sensitive security matters should be leaked less than a week after it was written. Quote, all she did was suggest that decision made by RAVEC about the security arrangement for high-profile individual should have proper political accountability and be kept under review. The source suggested that the email was leaked as a warning to anyone who dare try to question the decision-making process. They were giving a warning like to Harry. Harry doesn't care anymore. I don't think he cares of any threat. He has an agenda. He has his focus. He's going after it. Okay, I think that was for that, if this is what this meant. Okay, a source added, quote, this leak could only have come from an official inside the palace, the Home Office, or RAVEC to warn off anyone, including the former Home Secretary, from asking serious questions about security policy. Quote, and this from the people employed to keep us and the royal family safe. They should be ashamed. K. Patel did not respond to a request for a comment when approached by the Time. The Home Office and Buckingham Palace declined to comment. Yeah, I remember this. For some reason, now I remember, but for some reason I forgot. Okay, so there's more. After the latter discussion reinstating public-funded security for Andrew was leaked to the press, Prince William and Kate Middleton drove Andrew to church to show the world that the royal family still support the pedo prince. Yes, she's spot on. I remember. Okay, yes, the mind-boggling, and the other thing as well. Even though this is what is it? That's his uncle. Kate should have been sitting in the front. Kate should have been sitting in the front. They showed this woman no respect. Okay. Yes, the mind-boggling of their total lack of morality. The world says, but if you're going to provide security for one princess, just do it for all. It's not like there isn't enough money to cover it. After all, the king has a steady income from the dead who don't live a will. Okay, first of Squaddy, thank you for including me in your discussion and not including from saying my say. Okay, that's something else. Okay, this leak could only come from the official inside the palace. Seems even more important, relevant. Okay, the hatred of the British is off the chart. If you Brits still pay Andrew a salary and protection, quit whining about British citizens suffering, and you just shell out how many millions on a new golden throne carriage coronation. And the other thing as well, I think this leak was somewhat of a curveball they threw. They did that on purpose. All right, to mostly for Harry, and then they quickly leaked it. This is just a plan kind of tactic to sort of scare Harry away. I think that's what it was, because they didn't really have, what is it? They said Patel suggested, okay, on a private sort of email, and then not too long after they leaked it, and then they showed their strength that if you dare do this, you question us, this could happen to. I think that it was just a tactic to just scare Harry. That's all it was. Alright, so yeah, these people have nothing better to do. Who knows, there's something bigger they're hiding. This is just too much nonsense. Okay, yeah, maybe it's not him. Is her consort, Harry and Meghan, far from royalty. Whatever. Western pedophile, he was the necktie bandit. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Okay, now this is another one regarding protection. It's 313. Okay, oh, what did I do? Okay, the H. Next tweet. Okay, let's pause. Once again, she tagged somebody. Who's that? Yasmin Alibi Brown. Okay. Shows she has the measure of Jeremy Vine as she watched this establishment men bend the words of callers supporting Prince Harry's case for security and tells him the royals should knight him for his loyal service to them. Okay, 29 seconds. Let's see here.
Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe we call it maybe it's a 50-50 thing where they treat him badly, he responds. We can't really know.
Oh, no,
but I hear what you're saying, Jenny.
Oh, no.
Yasmin, you say we do. He was thrown out.
You may even get knighted for being so defending them. I hope you do.
I
hope you would be a very good sir.
Well, bless you.
Be fair to this young boy.
I don't know if he was thrown out or whether he decided to leave.
Piers, if you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I just don't know. Maybe we call it maybe it's a 50.
Oh, this guy is ridiculous. What do they have on him? Okay, as always, there's that name again, always speaking the truth to Jeremy Vine. You're just such a part of the establishment. Incidentally, this was just after a story on that HRH Prince Harry Daily Mail. Okay, when was that? Let's pause. Daily Mail story and Zilt on his success of the summit in Japan. Okay, 28 seconds. What is that?
The royals are. There's no end, Michelle.
Honestly, more stories. I love it.
I find myself more. I mean, I know people say all this coverage of this family and what do they matter, and Yasmin would take that view.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated, Yasmin. Sorry.
You're just such a part of the establishment.
No, I'm not.
I think so too.
Jeremy Vine. This is
very
punky.
soon
We're punks
to
here.
come.
No. We are punks here, aren't we? Yeah, exactly. The royals are. There's no end.
Alright, so my son is on his way. Let me hurry up. Okay, she's White Vine establishment tool. Okay, establishment propaganda, foot soldier. That's it. Very clear tactic to report on controversies and not successes, which helps to influence public sentiment. Anyone invited on the panel can quickly add positive news on their venture. The bigger story is Harry's princely passion and demonstrating that service is universal. Okay, it's always astonished me that people with children wake up each day with the sole purpose of spitting hate at others. When comma visit, I wonder if they reflect on the wreckage they cause in other people's life. Okay, or no, they never praise either Harry or Meghan. Is the negative they are about. Yeah, that's very sad. That is very sad. Of course, they won't talk about Harry's successes. The British establishment doesn't want positivity regarding the Sussexes highlighted. What was the beginning of the conversation? Okay. Love Jasmine AB. She obliterated Jeremy Vine. All right, let me read this and then I'll go to I go to Jazzo fan page. She usually posts the whole thing. Okay, they were talking about something irrelevant. That's why I didn't post it. It was about some pub with a bit of royal history, and then the conversation wandered. All right. So this is my last one. That's regarding Byline, and I think it makes reference to that same article that I started reading and I left it alone. Okay, so this is Byline time. The link will be in the description as well. Okay, News Corp was out to get me. Chris Huhne, how do you pronounce it? Chris Huhne condemns Murdoch Empire after settlement for phone hacking and intrusion. The firm settled a claim alleging involvement in or at least knowledge of illegal activities by senior exec Brian Capecourt report. Okay, this is the other. Oh my God! There's two. There's Brian Capecourt. What's the other journalist? It's like when I know one, I forgot the other one. But anyway, let's read. All right, it's $1.2 billion in settlement over a number of years. Eyes water. Wow. This is a great article exposing corruption at the highest level of certain newspapers and their illegal activities. Nice work, Byline Times. Thumbs up. All right, this is ad. Let's go into it. Like I said, the link is in the description. How long is it? A decent read. I may not finish all of it. Okay. Okay, News Corp was out to get me. Oh, come on. Let's move it bigger. All right. Let's start it here. The former Liberal Democrat cabinet minister Chris Huhne today accepted a six-figure sum from the publisher of The Sun and News of the World in settlement of a phone hacking and intrusion claim, and promptly demanded a new police investigation into the Murdoch company. Oh, wow. Good. In a statement outside court, Huhne accused named executives, including Current News UK chief executive Rebecca Brooks, of targeting him. That's the same name Harry hasn't. Oh my God. All this, in a way, is building up Harry's case. Okay, of targeting him with the aim of destroying a vocal critic of the media multinational owned by Rupert Murdoch. Quote, News Corp was out to get me. End quote, he said, my case is unprecedented because the unlawful information gathering was directed not by journalists but by the News Corp executive. The Metropolitan Police should reopen its investigation. He had wanted the case to go to trial, but late in the day, the Murdoch company offered a settlement sufficiently large that he could not refuse it without assuming unacceptable financial risk. Although the company had earlier drafted a defense challenging some of his allegations, Huhne asked today, quote, why would they settle so there won't be much information come out, because these are the same key players that Harry is having issues with. Okay, why will they now pay up if they could prove I was wrong? Okay, his case is significant in several respects despite the question it raised about the role of managers. Okay, it is the first three brought by senior Lib Dem politicians Sir Vance Cable and Sir Norman Lamb will follow, allegedly hacking and other illegal information gathering that was driven by political rather than journalistic motive. Wow. Whew. Okay. It takes this intrusive activity into the highest reach of government. Huhne presented evidence, some of it challenged in the news defense, of an intensive campaign against him that continued when he was a cabinet minister in the Cameron coalition government and sitting on ministerial committee such as the National Security Committee. This is, I think, almost the same thing is happening in the US, where they're getting information to frame people. Okay, and they want those people in those high position so they could frame them. That's all, so they could do things for them. Okay, he presented evidence that these activities continues at least until 2011, 5 years after the company publicly claimed it had been halted. It is the latest case to include extensive allegation of illegal activities by the Sun newspaper. Hacking by the now defunct News of the World has long been beyond any possibility of denial, but the Murdoch organization has yet to admit the involvement of the Sun, despite having already paid large sums to settle a number of claims against it. As Huhne, it's Harry that they're trying to prevent, for Harry not to get some information when it's time, because they know Harry doesn't want to settle. Okay, as Huhne said in his statement, News has now paid to settle a claim that alleges the involvement and, or at least the knowledge of, illegal activities by senior executive. Quote, the key News Corporation executives were a director in charge of political and external affairs and long-standing Murdoch Lieutenant Rebecca Brooks. Both were overseen by family members James Murdoch, he said. A new police investigation should focus on directors and managers, he added. Brooks was among Murdoch executives tried in 2014 for offenses related to illegal news gathering and a subsequent cover-up. She was acquitted, while Andy Colton, former Sun editor and director of communications for Prime Minister Cameron, was jailed. Wow. Huhne's own political career ended in 2013 when he was jailed for perverting the course of justice in relation to murdering offense. According to the campaigning group Hacked Off, today's settlement brings the total spent by the Murdoch organization on settling hacking-related claims and associated legal costs to $1.2 billion over about a dozen years. All of you, let's not forget about the US, they just spent with Dominion. And then there's another case that's about to start, and I believe is in Delaware. Okay, all of Huhne's legal costs are being met by the Sun's holding company, News Group Newspapers. His claim against the papers was built largely on information that the company had been legally obliged to disclose, and it painted a picture of multifaceted surveillance and intrusion by Murdoch employees on a nightmarish scale. Yeah, like I said, they just want information to frame these people. They want people in high officials and high position. Okay, among the allegations were that in two periods of a few days each in 2009 and 2010, private investigators were paid a total of more than £10,000 to follow him. Oh my goodness. Between 2000, what the hell is this? What? That is freaking crazy. And this is scary as well. My God. Between 2006 and 2011, 222 calls were made from the Murdoch headquarters at Wapping to Huhne's mobile phone, which bore the hallmark of voicemail interception. Some 20 private investigators and investigation companies were commissioned for tasks including the illegal accessing of Huhne's medical record. What the hell? What do they want this information for? It's not just him they've done this. Medical records, credit standing, utility bills, bank details, and telephone record, including his list of friends and family numbers. Oh my Lord, this is criminal. Messages allegedly accessed, including both highly private matters. Huhne's marriage was breaking up and he was forming a new relationship, and highly sensitive political communication with political figures, not only in the Lib Dems, but with others such as Labor Home Secretaries Charles Clark and Alan Johnson. Huhne said today that the issue in this case are much wider than previous phone hacking cases. Yeah, why were they doing this? There must be something much bigger than that. They're getting why they're doing all of that. Okay, it continues. News Corporation order unlawful information gathering in the UK that demonstrate exactly the same contempt for the democratic process shown by facts when it knowingly lied about Trump winning the presidential election, he added. Searching for political compromise, spying on government ministers for political gain, and knowingly telling repeated lies to maintain sales and rating should all be utterly unacceptable, and any responsible media company yet are the stock and trade of the two Murdoch companies, News and Facts. Wow. Quote, the US, UK, and Australia political system have allowed the Murdochs to become far too powerful. I confidently predict there will be little or no reporting of this matter, and the Times, Sunday, there's all the papers will ignore it. Yeah, the Times, Sunday Times, Sun on Sunday, Talk TV, Time Radio, New York Post, Wall Street Journal, Dow Jones, Market Watch, Australian Sky, News Australia, News.com, Australia, Fox News, or Fox TV station, because they are all owned by the Murdoch. Wow. This is freaking crazy. This is crazy. Wow. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I did it right on time before my son come. It's already 46 minutes. Okay, so that's it. I did some prayers already, so I need to stop, and I'll edit it later today or tonight or in the morning. All right, thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.